Hi guys. For lesson 3, we will be doing scientific measurement. Before you continue, make sure you have printed out your investigation of measurements. There are 3 pages on that. If you are in 3rd through 5th grade, you can print out the first 2 pages, and if you are in 6th and up, if you could please print out 3 of the pages. Which unit would you use printed out? This is another assignment that we're going to be working on this week. Your lesson 3 vocabulary printed for your science wall. And I want to hear about your science walls, of course, and where you have them. You know, last year I put my science wall on the refrigerator, on the side of the refrigerator, and it worked. Of course, I think it ended up spilling off onto the wall a little over there. So I have a few videos. There's actually more than these 2 videos, but this video is more specifically for the 3rd through 5th graders, and it's on the website. And this is more specifically for the 6th and up graders. So if you guys could watch those videos either after this lesson or before, it's up to you. It'll probably help you if you watch them before you watch this, just because then you will be able to do the activities that we're going to be doing here shortly. For today's lesson, I'm going to need you to have some measurement tools. So you're going to need a ruler, a tape measure for length, a scale for weight, and also for mass, a measuring cup for liquid, for volume. So here's a ruler, a measuring tape or a tape measure. You're going to need a liquid measuring cup, a water bottle, some line paper or your notebook, and if you have a kitchen scale, if you could please round one up. So go gather all of those things and then come back here, pause this video right now, and meet me back here, and then we'll continue on with the lesson. So I want you to pull out your lesson 3 investigations of measurements, and we're going to kind of go through that right now so we can kind of do this together. Lesson 3, investigation of measurements. Information. Experiment with measuring length, volume, and weight. As you proceed, be sure to do the following. Record what you are testing, state what you are going to measure or test, write down which tools you use, record what your measurements and observations are, and then form a conclusion. You may either write or draw simple diagrams of what you are doing and what you discover. Be sure to record the correct units measured, grams, milliliters, centimeters, etc. Accurate reading techniques. Be sure to read liquids at eye level. Use the right tools for the job. Do not select a big measuring tool to measure something small. This would be less accurate. For example, you wouldn't use a 2-quart pitcher to measure out 1 cup of water, even if it was marked on the side. Similarly, if you have the graduated cylinders and beakers, you would not use a 250 milliliter graduated cylinder to measure out 20 milliliters of water. Explore. Scientists ask a lot of questions, and as they are testing, more questions form in their minds. You may choose to use the ideas written in the lesson book or come up with testing ideas of your own. Think of the scientific method. You are formulating questions, developing a hypothesis in your mind of what your result may be, experimenting while recording observations, and making conclusions based on what you observed. What I am testing. So here's where you're going to write in what you're testing. Like if you're testing the length of the cabinet in my mom's kitchen. You know, what tools are you going to need? Well, the length of the cabinet is bigger than 1 foot. So I'm probably not going to be using a ruler. So you're going to basically write down what your tools are that you're using, and then some of the observations and measurements that you found here, and then your conclusion. And we're going to go through that here 2 or 3 times so that you can get the gist of it. I even drew a picture over here. So that's up to you. If you want to draw a picture, fine. If you don't, fine. Accurate measuring is very important in the scientific world. Oftentimes, scientists measure very small substances. Scientific tools have been made that measure weight, volume, or length in very small units. So, first one we're going to start with is length. The measurement of something from end to end. So, I want you to get out your ruler. Boom, there's my ruler. And I want you to make sure that you have a ruler that has the inches on one side, which is this unit that the United States uses for the most part, and then centimeters on the other side. A ruler is a tool used to measure length or distance. What do you notice about the units of measurement on this ruler? There are 2 units of measurement, centimeters and inches. In the United States, it is common to use inches, feet, yards, and miles for measuring distance. But outside of the United States and in the scientific world, the metric system is used, which uses millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. Use the ruler to answer the following questions. How many inches are in a foot? Well, if you knew, it is 12. How many centimeters are in a foot? Well, goodness, it's approximately 30, I guess. So the tools that you could use for length are going to be a foot ruler, which is what I just showed you, a measuring tape, or a yard or meter stick. You're going to find various objects around your house to measure. Record measurements in both metric and US customary standards, which is inches or feet. Math bonus, convert the length of longer objects, example of the length of a wall or countertop, to a smaller unit of measurement. So basically you would be converting the feet, how many feet your countertop is, and you would be converting it to how many inches. Or you would how many meters your countertop is into how many centimeters, or how many centimeters your pencil is, and then you would convert it to how many millimeters. Measure the lengths of different pencils. Math bonus, find the average of the lengths. Be a quality control inspector. Find items of a set, a package of markers, a handful of identical paper clips, or a few pennies. Measure the length and determine if these items hold true to being identical. Measure the lengths of the feet of different people in your household or school group. Have people guess the different measurements and award a prize to the closest guesser. Now that sounds like fun. Maybe we will bring our rulers to class and measure our feet. Okay, so let's see. This is where we're going to practice. This is one that I did, and I just want to show you specifically what to do. So here's my drawing of my glass. It's a glass. It doesn't really look like the glass that I did. Okay. Anyway, so what I am testing? Well, I'm testing the height of a glass. Now this can be the length of a pencil, or the width of the cabinet, or the, I don't know, the length of my pants, or, I don't know, anything. It's your idea. You figure it out. What do you want to measure? In either with a ruler or a tape measure or a measuring tape. The tools that you're going to use, you're going to write here. So I measured the height of a glass and I used a ruler. Observations and measurements. I had to turn the glass on its side to measure it because the ruler started about 5 millimeters 5 millimeters in. Oh yeah, okay. I see the in and I think inches. 5 millimeter inches. No. So it was about right. I'll show you here. So look at this. There we are. So where it started, you know, I couldn't put it right up against the table where I had the glass sitting because it was about 5 millimeters. You see that? Because 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. So I knew that it's about 5 millimeters off. So I wanted to make sure that my measurements were accurate. And so I had to turn the glass on its side to measure it. The conclusion, well, the glass is 4 inches or 10 centimeters tall. And then I drew a picture there. Okay, so volume is how much space an object takes up. What types of measuring tools do we use to measure volume? Well, I already have it here. I'm sorry. I stole your thunder. When we can use measuring cups, scientists can use tools such as graduated cylinders or beakers, which I'll show you some pictures of that at the very end of this video. So let's see here. So if you notice here, I have 2 pictures. I've got one picture of the view on this side of this glass liquid measuring cup, and I have a picture of it on this side. And if you guys can think and see and look and see, what is the difference? What are the different measurements here? The left side is in milliliters, and this is the metric system. And this is in ounces or cups. This is the US system that we're using. I'm not sure what it specifically is called, but this is what we're using, you know, in the United States anyway, ounces or cups. So sometimes it gets confusing, but that's why the whole world besides the United States uses the metric system, and scientists use the metric system. Oh, there we go. So here's if I were in class, I would be showing you a drink bottle, and I would point to the label, printed measurement on the label here, which is right here, and you can't see it. But I have I have an empty one because I already did my little assignment with the water bottle, and so it's empty, and it says that it holds 16.9 fluid ounces right here, and that amounts to 500 milliliters, which is also 1.05 pints. So I want you to find the volume of your water bottle.